Alright, just imagine this for a second. It's your wedding day. The day you've been planning for months, maybe even years. Every little detail is in place, the flowers, the music, the chairs set perfectly, the food waiting in the back. Your family and friends are dressed up, the photographers are snapping away, and everything feels like it's moving in slow motion. You're nervous, excited, maybe even a little overwhelmed, but mostly just happy. You're thinking to yourself, this is the best day of my life. Nothing could top this moment. And then, suddenly, the doors swing open. You hear a stir in the crowd, some whispers, maybe even a few gasps. You turn your head, and there he is. Johnny Depp. Yes, that Johnny Depp. The Hollywood legend, the man who played Jack Sparrow, Edward Scissorhands, the Mad Hatter, standing right there at your wedding. Not as a guest you secretly invited, not as some scheduled entertainment, but crashing it out of nowhere. And the craziest part? He's in full Captain Jack Sparrow mode. The eyeliner, the beads in his hair, the hat tilted to the side, that slightly off-balance walk he does that looks like he's half drunk but still in total control. It's him, no question about it. At first, nobody believes it. People squint their eyes, whisper to each other, is that? No, it can't be. That's gotta be a lookalike, right? You've probably seen those impersonators at parties or tourist spots, and they're usually pretty good. But then, Johnny opens his mouth, and that voice comes out, the same voice you've heard 100 times in the movies, that quirky, slurred Jack Sparrow tone, and the whole room realizes it's real. The energy shifts instantly. Guests are pulling out their phones, jaws are dropping, people are half laughing, half crying. It's chaos, but the fun kind. And then, the camera pans to the bride. Her reaction is pure gold. She's not annoyed. She's not rolling her eyes. She doesn't scream, "Who let this guy in?" No. She beams. Her face lights up with the kind of smile you only see once in a lifetime. Tears of joy mix with laughter. She's shaking her head in disbelief, covering her mouth with her hand like she can't even process what's happening. Imagine it, you're about to marry the love of your life, and suddenly one of your favorite actors, someone you've probably watched on screen since you were a teenager, just strolls into your wedding. It's the kind of moment you never think could happen outside of a movie. Now, here's where it gets even better. Johnny doesn't just wave and leave. He doesn't act like some awkward stranger who's intruded by mistake. No, he commits. He fully embraces the character, cracks jokes, and starts mingling with the guests like he's part of the family. He dances, he laughs, he makes toasts. He even does those Jack Sparrow hand gestures, you know the ones, where he's all wobbly and dramatic. Everyone in the room is eating it up. The bride and groom go from nervous newlyweds to giggling kids who've just stumbled into the coolest surprise of their lives. And honestly, that's what makes this so special. Weddings are already emotional. There's love in the air, everyone's crying happy tears, and it feels like a fairy tale. But then, when something so unpredictable happens, something that no one could have planned for, it takes the whole thing to another level. It's not just a wedding anymore. It's a story that everyone will be retelling for decades. It becomes one of those legendary family moments that people bring up at every gathering. Remember the time Johnny Depp crashed your wedding? Imagine hearing that every anniversary for the rest of your life. And let's be real. Most of us spend months stressing over making our weddings perfect. The right flowers, the perfect dress, the exact playlist for the reception. But here's the truth, perfection doesn't create the best memories. The surprises do. Think about it. Do people remember that the roses were exactly the right shade of pink? Or that the napkins were folded into little swans? No. What they remember are the funny, crazy, unpredictable moments. The uncle who tripped on the dance floor. The kid who grabbed the mic and sang. And yes, the day Johnny Depp casually walked in and stole the show. And that's what I love about this story. The bride could have panicked. She could have thought, oh no, this is my day, why is someone else stealing the spotlight? But she didn't. She embraced it. She laughed, she cried, and she rolled with it. And that's what made the whole thing magical. Because in the end, her wedding wasn't just beautiful, it became unforgettable. Now, let's take a step back and ask the obvious question. Why would Johnny Depp do this? Why show up to some random wedding? Well, the truth is, celebrities are people too. They get tired of the red carpets, the interviews, the endless spotlight. Sometimes, they just want to do something spontaneous, something fun, something that makes other people happy. And what better way to do that than by showing up as one of the most beloved movie characters ever? It wasn't about stealing attention. It was about creating joy. About stepping into someone else's story and giving them a memory they'll carry forever. And honestly, this isn't the first time Johnny Depp has done something like this. He's known for slipping into Jack Sparrow mode when fans least expect it. He's visited children's hospitals dressed as Jack. He's popped up at schools. He's surprised fans in the most random places, always staying in character, always making people laugh. And that's what makes him so different. He knows how much that character means to people, and he uses it to bring happiness, not just on screen, but in real life. Now think about this from another angle. If you had to pick a celebrity to crash your wedding, who would it be? Imagine Beyoncé grabbing the mic and singing your first dance. Or The Rock showing up to lift your grandma onto the dance floor. Or maybe Taylor Swift surprising everyone with an acoustic performance. The possibilities are endless, and just the thought of it makes you smile, doesn't it? That's the magic of these moments. They blur the line between fantasy and reality. And this is where I think there's a bigger lesson for all of us. Life doesn't always go the way we plan. We can schedule every detail, try to control every outcome, and still, something unexpected will happen. But those unexpected moments? They're often the best part. That's when real memories are made. That's when life feels alive. Because let's face it, perfect is boring. Perfect is forgettable. But surprises? Surprises are what we hold on to forever. Think back to your own life. What moments do you remember most? Probably not the days that went exactly according to plan, right? It's the ones where something went wrong, or something surprising happened. The road trip where the car broke down but you ended up making new friends at a diner. The birthday where the cake collapsed but everyone laughed so hard it became the best party ever. The little unexpected twists that turned an ordinary day into an extraordinary story. That's what this wedding was. A perfect reminder that the best memories can't always be planned. And that's why I think this story has touched so many people. It's not just about a celebrity showing up somewhere. It's about joy. It's about the bride's reaction, her laughter, her tears, her complete surrender to the magic of the moment. It's about the guests losing their minds, the groom grinning ear to ear, the family capturing every second on their phones. It's about how one person, by simply showing up and being playful, turned a wedding into a memory that will outlive all the decorations, all the food, all the speeches. So now I've got to ask you again. If you could have anyone crash your wedding, who would it be? Would you want a comedian to keep the mood light? A singer to give you an impromptu performance? Or an actor who could make everyone feel like they're in a movie? Drop your answer in the comments, because I know some of you are going to come up with hilarious and amazing ideas. And before we wrap this up, let me say this. If this story made you smile, imagine how many more are out there. There are so many times when ordinary people's lives have been touched by extraordinary surprises. Sometimes it's a celebrity, sometimes it's just a twist of fate. But the point is, life is unpredictable, and that's what makes it beautiful. So, if you enjoyed this story, make sure you stick around for the next one. Because trust me, it's just as wild, just as heartwarming, and just as unforgettable. And while you're here, hit that like button if you had fun hanging out with me today. It really helps. And subscribe if you haven't already, because we've got plenty more stories to share, stories that remind us all that life is full of magic, surprises, and moments that feel bigger than the movies. And at the end of the day, remember this, the bride thought her wedding couldn't get any better. But then Johnny Depp walked in, dressed as Captain Jack Sparrow, and gave her a memory she'll never forget. Her reaction? Pure joy. Pure disbelief. Pure gold. That's the magic of embracing the unexpected. That's the kind of story worth telling forever. Because no matter who you are, no matter where you are, the best moments in life aren't always the ones we plan. They're the ones that surprise us, the ones that make us laugh, cry, and feel something deep inside. And when those moments come, embrace them. Because those are the stories that last a lifetime.